I've been thinking a lot as I look in the mirror lately about how the more bald I get, the more I have to find some way to make myself more interesting to make up for it. Like every time I look in the mirror and I see like I'm like, oof, whoa, getting a little balder. Better step it up in some other way.
Trim that beard.
Right. I better I better do something cool. Maybe I should learn how to do a backflip or something. Yeah. Maybe I should
yeah, welcome to
maybe I should get a Corvette.
That's exactly how
or
how
a face
girls
tattoo.
are too.
Yeah.
There you go.
When girls' looks start declining, they're like, ooh, maybe I should get into rockabilly.
Ouch.
Or cars.
Yeah, I'm just like, is this what a midlife crisis is?
Yeah.
Okay, it's not that bad because most of the stuff that I've chosen to do is pretty cool. But I do feel like the more bald I get, the more urge I feel to do it. Do you get that as a dad? Because the coolest thing you do is your kids, obviously.
Yeah, I think so. I do. I just don't care, I think, anymore.
Have you had your midlife?
Care.
Did you have your midlife crisis already?
I'm having it now, pretty much. As you can see, I tend to do stupid shit. So I went out, got a classic car. I thought that was, now it sits in
theory.
Now it sits in storage.
I haven't seen it yet, so I think you only in theory have a classic car.
Yeah, in theory I have one.
Dude,
exactly.
I bet it felt so good to buy it though.
Dude, yes, it did. I was like,
where'd you get it? Facebook Marketplace?
Yep, where we buy everything.
Yeah, it feels so good. Facebook Marketplace is, I don't know if they are aware of the addictive nature.
Oh, absolutely. Facebook Marketplace. Oh, it is. It's a government psyop to keep the masses distracted.
Craigslist was a service.
It was the preamble.
Facebook Marketplace is an addiction.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if Facebook Marketplace had a missed connections section?
That would be.
Do you remember?
Do you remember missed connections?
Do you remember missed
No.
connections? You don't know what missed connections are?
No.
That was on Craigslist. Missed connections were something that you would write if you met a person or saw a person.
Okay.
This is before Facebook, really.
Yeah.
Or before Facebook was really popular, and you'd be like, I saw you on the bus. You were wearing a red blouse. Your hair was frizzy.
No kidding.
You smelled like sardines. I thought you were really beautiful. I wanted to say hi.
And then they would try to, and you try to find them?
Yeah, and it was a misconnect. I didn't give you my number, and I should have.
Yeah.
It was a whole section of Craigslist.
Almost like a.
It still exists.
It does.
Yeah, you could still go to misconnections.
I've had multiple misconnections written about me.
Really?
Yeah.
How do you know?
I was a bartender for a long time, so.
How did you find out about
So
them?
I would always find out every single one I found out the same way. Someone would print it out on a piece of computer paper because that's what you did back then, and because nobody smartphones.
Yeah, what are you
gonna
do? Pull it up
bring
on your
it
phone?
to the bar,
and they would bring it to the bar and be like, "Look, this is about you."
That's great.
That's happened 3 separate times.
That's so funny.
Yeah, 2 of the people I knew already, and they were just writing it. I think because they were trying to get my attention. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it's also really easy to find because it would be the bartender at the Dirty Shame, blah blah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so back then, there's just people who cruise misconnections just because either they think it's funny. Also, where in the entertainment district, it was more people wrote a lot about it.
Yeah, makes sense.
That was a weird time.
When was that popular?
I don't know,
90s?
2000s.
All of this happened to me in 2005.
Yeah, when
2006.
Craigslist was popular.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Oh, you used to be able to get everything on Craigslist. They had the Craigslist Personals was where you prostitutes advertised.
Oh yeah, there was.
Yeah, wasn't there
there.
didn't they make a whole ass separate website for that?
Yeah, backdoor.com.
Is that really where that came from?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Really?
Backdoor. It's shut down now because people
the
were
government shut it down
trafficking
because it was human trafficking.
Wow.
And shit.
But I don't know why I'm laughing at that, but that's why I got shut. But that was
you're
where
uncomfortable?
it was literally just because it was, you would go there and it was mainly fetish based. So it's do you want someone to piss on you? There's
Backdoor.com.
Backdoor.com, man. You could have decision paralysis
Yeah.
on who you choose to piss on you there. They're whoever you want.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was very brazen too.
Well, I mean, I feel like that sort of still exists because
Yeah, it's called Twitter now.
Yeah. When I went to Colorado and you'd pick up magazines at their dispensaries and there would be coupons for all the dispensaries in the area, you know, go get money off of whatever purchase for weed. But then also in there would be like escort services.
Well, escort services are legal. There's
Yeah.
supposed to be no sex.
Yeah.
I think the biggest lie that I ever heard
It's huge in Vegas.
was I forget what it was, Chris Rock's special, where it was really popular, and he had that line where he goes, "There's no sex in the champagne room." Remember that in his comedy special? He'd be like, "There's no sex in the champagne room." It became a meme. They made it into like songs and stuff like that. And it was about strip clubs, and he goes like, "Oh, they make you think that you're going to have sex by going in the champagne room and paying extra to go in there." So strip clubs would have like the special room. And he goes like, "Let me tell you, there's no sex in the champagne room." So I remember seeing that as a kid and going like, "Damn, dude, there's no, like, I'm wise now.
Yeah.
I already know." And then I grew up and I know a lot of dancers and
You
I've
went
been
to
to a
Tootsie's?
lot of strip clubs.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, there is sex in the champagne room.
Oh, yeah.
Like, every strip club is a dollar amount away from being a whorehouse. Like, I promise you. I'm not trying to tell you guys what
Listen,
to do
I've
or
been to a
bust
lot of
anybody
strip
out,
clubs,
but
but when I went to a Florida strip club, Tootsie's in Florida, I learned a lot. about strip
Tootsie's?
clubs. Yeah.
Is that a foot fetish bar?
It
You're
should
not
be.
familiar with Tootsie's in Miami?
I've never been to a strip club.
It is the
It's a
biggest
famous
strip
strip club
club
in
I've
Miami.
ever seen. It's a warehouse, enormous, and there had to be 300 dancers in there. There's sex in champagne room.
there's always sex in the champagne room. It's also about, I'm not trying to give someone a how-to on to do this, but you got to be cool. Like, if
Yeah.
you're trying to get some money off a Facebook Marketplace
Right.
ad,
Yeah.
like, and you go up there and you're like, "Hey, I'm going to give you this much. And if you don't like it, fuck you." Like, the dude's going to be like, "Well, fuck you too, Jimmy."
Right?
You got to be cool, dude.
No, yeah.
That's
you
so
gotta
people are
work
like, "There's
the
no sex in the
marketplace.
champagne room." I'm like, either you didn't come correct or you didn't come with enough money.
Yeah,
Because there's always sex in the champagne room.
that's for sure.
Chris Rock is a liar.
He is. You guys have got most of your bikes off of Craig or the Facebook Marketplace,
Marketplace.
right?
Almost all of them, yeah. Facebook
okay.
Marketplace is one of the reasons that we're all sitting here together.
That's a good point.
Oh my God, yeah, we all know each other through the internet and Facebook Marketplace.
Because
and
because
YouTube.
one of my favorite things to do, Shay's favorite thing to do now as well, is to buy a weird motorcycle on Facebook Marketplace in a place that I don't live. So this episode, ostensibly, before we started talking about the champagne room, was supposed to be about traveling. but one of my favorite things to do is to just cruise Facebook Marketplace in other cities, because it's
So
the whole
different
world.
from city to city.
It gives you like 500 miles, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So like you could put everywhere, dude. You 500 miles. There's so many places you could put.
That's true.
And so I just would think, I would go like, all right, what's a place I want to visit, and I want to have a motorcycle there. And
Yeah.
I would like look for a sub $2,000 motorcycle and go like, all right, for the amount of time that I have, right? So if I had a weekend, if I had 2 days or 3 days, and I don't have enough time to ride there and back. I only have enough time to ride one way.
Perfect.
So if I buy this motorcycle, and I usually know what a sure thing is, like Gold Wings are pretty
Oh yeah.
reliable, like
Silver
you
Wings.
know what a sure thing is. So you know the bikes that are good. So don't try to buy something super weird.
No.
You know,
Oh
you look
my
for
God.
Gold Wings, Silver Wing, pretty much any Honda, except for some things. But
No
and, you know,
shovel heads.
Shit,
No
dude.
shovel heads.
I just realized you could apply the same logic instead of Facebook Marketplace in motorcycles. You use women and Tinder. Like shop for women not in your area so you can get like practice and shit.
I think that Tinder has
Like
a
from
location.
a place.
Has
that-
location
yeah,
status.
but you can set your location to like somewhere else.
I feel like I've tried doing that and it didn't work.
Yeah.
I just like
I've never been
I
on
don't know.
Tinder. I
I
got married before Tinder. My brother met his wife on Tinder though. So
have you been married since like high school?
no. I don't even remember what year it was we got married at this point, but we've been married like 16 years or something.
Oh
so
my God.
it's a good rip. Yeah,
Yeah.
16
A good
years.
rip.
It's a good rip. Yeah, but no, Tinder was not a thing at the time I got married. It was not even Facebook. It was MySpace.
But there was
I
like dating
reconnected with my
websites.
wife
There was like
on MySpace.
eHarmony and shit, right?
did you guys
Oh,
go
yeah,
to high
yeah,
school
yeah.
together?
No, she went to our town is like right next door to her town. So our friends knew each other. We knew each other. We dated a little bit in high school or
Yeah.
right after high school. And then didn't see her for years. And then hit her up on MySpace.
Got sad one day and
some
went
girl.
cruising through MySpace.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
like, who do I know?
She
Exactly.
posted a bulletin and you replied to it.
Yeah, she came out to a bar, had some drinks, and she,
Bro, if you
All
respond to a
marriage from
MySpace
there.
ad, you know what's up.
yeah, oh, yeah.
Like if you got hit up on MySpace, you're like, I thought you just wanted to be friends.
No.
You
Nah,
are.
dude, on MySpace, I was 10.
Oh, thanks for making me feel old as shit. That's good. No, MySpace was like, it was so cool though. You could like find all these people that, now it's Facebook and it's like everywhere, but MySpace was dope.
I mean, Facebook monetized it, man.
Yeah, they did.
And MySpace did ads and stuff like that, but
They had the music.
Yeah, but like
Yeah, that's
Facebook
true.
monetized it, man. They just
Yeah.
really like almost gamified
That Zuckerberg, dude.
Yeah,
the
sharp
feed.
cat.
I remember when it first came out, I thought it was really dumb because
Everyone
MySpace had the same feature that Facebook did. It had the scrolling, like just say
Yeah.
whatever you want. Remember,
Yeah.
it was like a little sidebar.
Yeah, but
And
it was
like,
bulletins.
live
It was
things that was
bulletins.
coming
It
up.
was
Yeah.
bulletins. Oh my god, I totally forgot about that.
And that was
I
like one of my
didn't.
I love
least.
that.
Those
I didn't.
I didn't like that aspect. That was one of my least favorite parts of MySpace. I was like, this is dumb, dude.
No, dude, my favorite part of
Thought it was so
MySpace
cool.
was somehow being able to code HTML as a 12-year-old.
They made it pretty easy.
Okay.
Well, I mean, you would just copy and paste it. You go to like someone's
no,
Angel Fire website.
I would customize it myself.
I'm sure you remember it that way.
I didn't know what HTML was. You super nerds over there. I was like, what code? I just was looking.
You didn't
for
ever have
chicks.
like blingy on your photos or like
blingy?
yeah, blingy.
No, I don't even know what that is.
You don't know what blingy is?
No idea.
Okay, Josh, insert a blingified photo of Jason for the viewers, please.
You're talking about like the Angel
Blink.
Like
Fire
in
thing
post.
where it's just like
Like
sparkling.
sparklies
Oh,
and stuff everywhere.
alright, alright.
Yeah, yeah.
Remember, and it would say like
It's just like when
juicy.
your aunt makes a website in 2002. You know, for her cat.
Yeah, and the cat's blinging.
Yeah, the cat's
Yeah,
just like shining.
yeah.
Crystals or
Yeah.
just pop.
That website was called Blingy.
I didn't even. No idea.
Okay, well, all these memories are just so fresh in my brain
I
for some
know.
reason.
Yeah.
Well, this is like core growing up memories for me, It's like my time on MySpace. While everybody else was outside playing and making friends, I was on MySpace
Well.
pretending I was 5 years older than I was.
I was in an RV with my grandpa and his cat traveling from California to Las Vegas, and we did that one summer, which makes me think of you guys in the RV because the AC was out and it was the
Yikes,
hottest
dude.
trip of my life. Which every time Josh, I talked to you guys on the way down here, I was like, "Oh, dude, I've been
So-
there, done that. I know how bad that is."
For you guys who don't know, we just traveled cross country in an RV with no AC. It's June.
Yeah,
It's July now,
It's
but it
July.
was June when we did it.
Yeah,
And
peak heat.
it was a character building experience. Now, an RV, for some reason, I don't know that much about them, but for some reason, they retain heat like nothing else on the planet. Like they're like a convection oven.
Yeah.
It's insane. It could be in the sunlight for 15 minutes. You walk inside, you're like, it's at 1,000 degrees.
Yeah, that's
I
what I
don't know.
remember. of
Have
them,
you
too.
ever put your hand underneath the fold of skin that retains heat?
Underneath a fold of skin.
Like
that
Yes.
your
retains
leg?
heat.
Yeah, like underneath your leg
Oh.
or underneath a boob.
I was like, yeah,
That's
dude.
like
I
the
put
heat.
my hands in plenty of places.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like,
I'm a fold master.
So it's weird. It's weird for me to say that I know a lot about traveling now, and I still feel like there's a lot I don't know. And that's a lot because I don't like to learn stuff. I'm not.
yeah, no
at
shit.
it.
I had to read the manual to Josh.
Yeah.
I just feel like learning how to do something makes it less fun for me.
Yeah, he would
I know
not
that sounds
read
weird.
the manual.
I just
to the
don't
RV.
want to learn. I'm like, nah, I just want to do it, and then like kind of figure it out as I go along. But anyway, just regardless. Besides that, so I just feel like I don't know a lot about traveling. I also feel that way because I didn't start doing any sort of traveling until I was older. I didn't leave the state of Florida except for like a couple times. One vacation when I was a kid, once to pick somebody up from the Atlanta airport before I was like 29.
Right?
Yeah, I don't
Just
really
never
know.
stepped foot out of the state of Florida.
What about you, Jason? When did you start traveling?
Oh, you know what? I didn't travel at all as a kid. My parents never took it. We never went on a single family vacation. I'm still pretty mad about that, actually. Like, I was always jealous of the kids that were, like, going to Hawaii as kids and stuff. We never went. Our traveling was camping. We went camping, which was great. Some of my core memories were camping, and I love camping still today, and I need to do more taking my kids camping. But we never traveled. So my first trip ever was in high school. I think it was a graduation present. We saved, and my girlfriend and I went to Hawaii, and that was like the only.
Damn, dude.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, it was
You were like high expectations.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And
but I wanted
when
to
you
go
have
so
high
bad,
expectations of a trip, that's usually a
So-
recipe for disaster.
Totally.
I feel like
Yeah, I tried to buy
That is
weed in Hawaii. So this
motherfucker
is
saw
my
your ass
first time
coming.
getting really ripped off. Okay.
Yeah.
no
So-
shit, dude. Look how white you are.
Oh, easy.
You were
Alright.
reflecting off the sun. They saw you coming.
Wow, you are a rough crowd.
Like,
over
you see
here.
that fork in the
Jesus
microwave over
Christ.
there?
Yeah.
I'm about to sell them trash.
Yeah. Well, listen, these guys were big old Hawaiian Samoans that walked down, and we're in.
Right. They ripped off 30 other white dudes before
Dude.
you got there.
And I'm
Yeah.
a kid. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And so I was like, let me get some Maui Wowie. And and they were like, here you go. Gave it to me in a cellophane wrapper. And I went back to the room and I was like, got that weed. And opened it up. And it was like molasses and parsley. And
Oh, no,
and I was like,
dude.
shit, I just got ripped off. I'm going back. And she was like, don't
Don't
back.
go back.
I was like, I'm going back. I'm getting my money back. And I went down there and I was like, you ripped me off. And he was like, I've never seen you before.
no,
That's
dude.
even worse.
Yeah, and then like 4 of his friends stepped up and like, is there a problem? I was like, nope, we're good.
Yeah.
went
I
back
just
to the
like,
room.
how hard is it to
Tucked
sell me
tail.
actual weed, dude?
Yeah, like you couldn't have just given me.
I would have
that
been a
for
repeat customer. You
But
I
I,
know,
feel
dude,
like
like,
that
come
was just
on.
people were like that back then.
Yeah.
Like, write in the comments if you guys have ever been sold weed and it was
Hawaii.
actually molasses and parsley.
I
Because
felt
that's
like
never happened to me, but like I feel like that's a thing that happens to people a lot, especially people who like grew up with weed not being as accessible as it is now. Like, you know, kids these days are just hitting their weed pen in the bathroom at school.
Totally.
yeah.
It's so accessible for them.
We're
You
not
know, their
condoning
uncles
that.
will stop
but-
and
I'm
pick
just
them
saying
up
that's
stuff.
what's happening. I'm not saying that I
Yeah, we
condone it.
don't
I'm just saying
condone it.
that's what
Be
happens.
21. Be 21. There's plenty of
Yeah,
life.
I think you should be 21.
But
Me too.
I'm just saying it's just like
Even though I was way younger. And I'll tell
No,
you.
me too.
no, me
You
too.
know, your kids are gonna do what they're gonna do, and just
I just feel like the barrier of illegality
Yeah.
is a good one.
It is.
So it's like some people are going to go past it, just like with all things.
Yeah.
But the fact that the barrier's there, I don't know. I think it's a good thing.
No, it is a good thing.
You
It's just
know?
like kids should not be drinking alcohol.
Right. So if you're going to do it, make it hard.
Yeah, at least
You know,
like make
like,
it
it's
against the
difficult.
law, you know, like make them get in trouble, I guess.
Like you're
Yeah,
never going to
but,
stop it completely, but you should at least make it difficult. Like you got to jump through some hoops
Yep.
to try to figure that stuff out.
Yep.
Because I did, you know, getting beer, getting drugs, stuff like that when I was a kid. Like I had to jump through. You had to really want it.
You had to like
we worked
risk
for it.
Yeah.
being
We worked
sold
for it.
molasses and parsley.
Yeah.
It's crazy because in California, like we never had trouble getting weed. We could get weed anywhere. You go to Hawaii and you get sold molasses.
Well, they know
It's-
that's a
Isn't it
tourist
illegal?
town.
I thought it was
They
legal
know.
in Hawaii.
It wasn't when I was there.
Oh
Totally,
yeah, well that was like in the Stone Age, dude.
Yeah, it was probably.
Dude, that's so funny. So what else about the trip went bad?
Oh, yeah.
Besides just everything, was it just horrible? Did you just sit in the hotel
Yeah,
room
because
the
you
whole
said that
time?
was your
No,
first
it
time
was great.
traveling.
We had a
really,
great time.
So that
I've
sounds like
never
more like,
been anywhere. So
that
it
sounds like
was
a
so cool.
vacation. When did you start
It was.
traveling?
I've never been
like-
much of a traveler. Like I am a homebody, so you know I've always been focused on whatever I was doing at the time. So, and if I get focused, I get that tunnel vision, and I don't want to deviate from what I'm doing. So I've never been a big traveler. I haven't been to a lot of places. I mean, I've taken trips and stuff like with friends, but I don't do what you guys do. That's what the allure of watching some of your videos is you get to live vicariously through your adventures and somebody like me who doesn't have the time and, you know, has kids and stuff. It's fun to be able to like watch you guys go, you know,
So I
traveling
worry.
on a shovelhead across country.
I worry
Like,
all
I wanna
the
do that.
time, man. I worry all the time about like making it look too cool.
Yeah.
So I try to like really say that like parts of it suck and show that part of it.
Yeah.
But the person that I am is I'm usually very positive, except this last trip. The RV trip took it out of me. I'll talk about that later. But
Yeah.
usually I'm very like, I am positive. I'm
Yeah,
like,
like,
dude, we'll make it.
well, we're gonna make it. We're not just gonna die here.
No.
Yeah.
Like,
It's a philosophy
this isn't
thing,
the end. We didn't just drive our motors.
part
like
of the
it's fine.
adventure.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like that part of it. I like stepping. It's like a challenge. I like being like, oh, can I do this?
Yeah.
I feel like I would do it even if we didn't make YouTube videos. It's a very because I don't want to just. I almost hate calling it traveling. Like, oh, we travel. Like that's such a weird. It is like a vacation. But it's also like running a marathon.
The road is the vacation.
Yeah,
know?
that's true.
You know,
No,
like
you guys travel. You're going to a destination to pick up something
sure,
and
but
coming
like
back home with
sure,
it.
but
Or,
like
you know,
the
Like,
fun
I like
part
to-
is
the fun
being
part
on
is
the
moving.
road.
Yeah,
The fun
it's
part's
true.
being on the road, not
It's the
being at the
adventure of it.
destination.
So it's
Yeah.
very weird for me, like to just go someplace and like stay there.
Yeah, the destination's
That's
whatever.
weird to
I
me.
want to be on the road.
Oregon is going to be one of the very first places that I've really explored
yeah.
outside. A little bit in California, more
Sure.
than anywhere else, but really, this
Yeah,
is going to be the
I don't
first
think
place
I've
I've
ever
explored.
explored anywhere as much as I've explored Oregon.
Yeah. Well, it's because you guys are here part time now.
Yeah.
You know, you're working here part time. It gives you that opportunity to,
I mean,
you
even
catch
then-
the weekend and then you can, take off to
Yeah.
the
Going
coast
through
and
our photos,
explore.
Josh, it's been over 2 years.
Yeah, you guys been coming
We've
here.
been
a
coming
while.
here over 2 years.
Yeah.
It's weird because usually if I'm in somewhere for more than like 2 days, I'm bored. I'm over it.
Yeah.
I don't want to be. I
I am like that
just
too.
want to
though.
leave. I'm like next one.
Yeah.
I like to experience scenery while it's moving.
Yeah.
I don't want to I'll sit down and look at something for a minute, I guess. But I want to be I have to be actively doing something or else I get really bad anxiety.
Yeah, let me
Really?
tell you how
Yeah.
frustrating that is once you get to the Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
I could look at it for like 5 minutes.
And he's like, all right,
You're
Let's-
like, wait,
I'm
let's
like-
go.
let me get some photos.
Well,
There it is.
welp, let's go.
I'm not I enjoyed it. It's not
No,
like I
no,
didn't
no.
enjoy it.
Like, it's not
I
like
just,
he's the type of person
how long
who's
do I need to
like,
look at it for?
Yeah, I know.
oh, this is just a hole in the ground. Like, he obviously, like, he sees the
Wonderstruck,
beauty,
man.
but he, it's just like, all right, on to
On the next
on
one.
to the next one, which was what was it called?
I forget what we did after that.
It's fucking.
Did we do Zion after that?
No, it's the mountains I just said I wanted to go back to.
Oh,
It's on the tip of my fucking
The
tongue. right now.
Vermilion.
The
Cliffs?
Vermilion Cliffs.
Yeah.
On to the Vermilion Cliffs.
Yeah.
I think that one of the best trips I ever taken in my life was that Sturgis trip we took last year. That
was a
was
good trip, man.
a fun trip. Like
It was fun.
it was just, I don't know. It felt like freedom. I don't know.
It was such a
I
boys
think
trip.
It was such a good
It
trip.
was
What do
such
you
a
mean?
boys
you were
trip.
there. It wasn't.
So
all
I
I
was
know.
so that is my kind of trip.
That was a great trip.
It's like I never want to stay anywhere for more than one night.
Yep.
And it's
Keep
just
it
I never
moving.
want to stay anywhere for more than an hour. If you're at a place, you're like, okay, here for a minute, and then
Yeah.
let's roll.
Yeah.
That I like to go I like for 7 days to feel like a month.
Yeah, and all the boys were
know
like
what I
that.
mean?
They didn't even want to wait for the geysers to go off at Yellowstone. They're like, let's
Well, I was waiting
fucking.
for that.
We-
Go.
we
gonna
all
not
bit-
see that
And I was
didn't
like,
wait for that.
was waiting for
bitch,
that.
we
We're
fucking
watching
staying.
that
I'm
shit.
watching this bitch squirt.
It was cool. It was cool. That
Yeah, it was
that
worth
was
waiting.
actually
It
worth
was
waiting
so
for
worth
it.
waiting
Yeah.
for.
All the like monuments we saw, like I'd never seen any of that.
I'd never seen that either.
I actually went to Mount Rushmore when I was a kid, but I have no.
I would go
recollection
back.
of it.
I'd go back.
It
I would
was
do. I would every
impressive.
single thing that we did. I would do again.
Yeah.
It was so cool.
I don't think I've ever been anywhere I wouldn't go back to.
I would spend a day or two in what was that place where we all
Lewiston.
really? No, the other one where
Cody.
the roadie-
Cody, yeah.
Cody.
Wyoming is a
I would,
honey hole.
dude. I would move to
I
Wyoming.
freaking loved Cody, Wyoming.
Cody was cool.
Like
My-
you come into town, it's like rodeo every day of the
Dude,
week.
that's my dream. I would just want to retire
yeah.
to Cody, Wyoming,
I know,
and be
I
a
get it.
cowgirl.
It's so cool.
So the traveling thing is weird, or even let's just call it vacation.
Yeah.
And I know it's like very much an American thing, although other places too. I think that when people say it's an that Americans don't go on vacation,
I
which is
think they
weird to
don't.
me because I'm like the entire country is based on tourism.
Yeah,
So
I
they
just
do
feel like
go on vacation,
Americans
but-
vacation differently. Like our country's huge, and we vacation like our vacations are road trips.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like a lot of other countries don't really necessarily consider like maybe road trips as vacations.
It's weird, but they also in other countries they get like a month off.
But what
or
do I
something,
know?
I
You
know.
know?
You know, and
Yeah,
so
we're hustling. We got like 3 days.
And
so,
even
yeah.
then, so it's like I could take as much time off as I wanted.
Sure.
You know, there are things that require my attention, and I would suffer if I took that time off. But there's not like, you know, I don't have somebody holding a gun to my head.
No.
You know, it's not like
Yeah.
somebody who's like got 3 different bosses. You know, I can just go like, I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
I'm not going to ever do that.
If your boss is holding a gun to your head,
Quit. Yeah, immediately.
you should quit.
That's like
Or call
every
the
single
police.
job in America, though.
No, it is. It is tough.
It's like people feel like the number one thing people say is they feel like they can't take time off
Yep.
because they'll get fired.
Yeah.
And the problem is it's true. The minute they start taking time off,
Fired with a gun?
people are like, oh well, someone else is going to take your place or
know.
this or something. It's weird, man.
Oh,
it's
I
a
know.
huge freaking thing that happens with people where they're just like, if I take time off, I'll get in the time that I'm gone, I'll be replaced.
That's just because in corporate America, our value is what we put into the company, not the things we do outside of it, usually.
Yeah, it's sad actually. You know, I've had that pretty much my whole life.
Right? You felt like that, right?
Where I felt like that, where like,
Yeah.
oh, you just, you know, until I started my own businesses, I was like, man, I am trapped. Like,
Trapped.
you can't go anywhere. You are trapped.
Even if you have the time off, if you request it, everyone's gonna be like, really?
Well, he really cares
Really?
about his job. Yeah.
That's the attitude. Like,
It
guess
is.
someone doesn't give a fuck about this job.
I'm
Yep.
like, bitch,
It is.
this is my paid time off.
Well, you know, and then you get trapped in that whole cycle, and then you just let life go by, and the next thing you know,
Right.
30 years later, you're like, oh, I didn't do much. You know, I refuse to let that happen.
So, one of the things that I first started doing, this is when I was still bartending, and bartending, even though I could take the time off, a lot of times there wasn't somebody to cover the shift.
Yeah.
So the bar's not going to not be open. So I would have Sunday and Monday and sometimes part of Tuesday to do something. And so that was for years. That's how I went places. Is I would just do 1,000 miles. The first night I would leave at Saturday night, get off my shift 3:00 in the morning, and ride as far as I freaking could.
Really?
Yeah, go 24 hours, ride. 1,000,
After he just
1,200
worked
miles.
12 hours.
Where would you go? Just
Anywhere.
wherever?
North.
Just
Yeah,
take
wherever.
off.
North.
And just ride the highway as far, and then I take the next 2 or 3 days to like come back in a slower pace.
Huh. Just take your time getting back.
Take my time getting back.
Okay.
And so because I was like, that's the time that I had available.
Yeah, I
That's-
like that. I think that's a good way to do it.
So it's like you have to, I think, because a lot of people don't travel, and this is like kind of, we've been all over the place, but that's kind of what we were kind of talking about before this started, is like vacationing, traveling, going somewhere outside of the city that you live in.
Yeah.
Is just like, I feel like a lot of people set themselves up for, they have to do like the best thing. They have to go to Hawaii.
Yeah. No, it's true. Yeah.
And they have to like save up and be like,
yeah,
oh, if I'm going
and
to
they
take
have,
a vacation,
and they're
it's
like,
gotta be
oh,
nice.
and I'm only gonna ever be in Hawaii once, so I have to do all these things
Everything.
while I'm in Hawaii,
Yeah.
and it's like pack all this shit in, and like,
Got that
which requires
itinerary.
money.
Yeah.
So you have to have a certain amount of money and a certain amount of time, and it's like if you go in with the attitude of maybe I'll get to come back here one day,
Less pressure.
Right. Do
there's a
one
lot
thing.
less pressure.
That's my thing. So I like, if I go to a town,
Mm-hmm.
I want to do one thing there.
That's good.
Not
That's
two
a good way
things.
to do it. Yeah.
One fucking thing. And so if I do one thing, I'm cool. I don't
Yeah.
even look up what's good. I just will like pick out a restaurant or like something like random, like I'd be like,
Yeah.
all right, we did something here. I know what you know what I mean.
Yeah. No, I think
And
that's
some
a great
places
way to do it.
I have been back to.
I
Like,
think
I've been-
people get afraid to do that because they it's the whole trapped in life. Like,
Yeah.
I probably won't get back. So let's get it all knocked out.
Yeah.
Especially if you got kids and a family, like, and then the itinerary becomes pressure, which I think is also just more of a deterrent for not taking those vacations.
Well, it just adds so much anxiety and fear, and then like, oh, what if it at the end of the day you spent all that money and then you just had a bad time, and it's like a fear of failure as well.
Oh yeah,
which puts a lot of pressure on having a good time.
yeah.
Which
And-
is another thing that. I
And what
wanted
you're
to
just
talk
gonna
about.
do that all by yourself, and it's like if you add anyone else into the mix, now you're stressed about them too.
So do you normally take your trips like solo? Do you prefer taking off and riding solo, or do you prefer like riding with, with a partner, like Shay
honestly
or
don't.
whatever?
Not that this isn't an insult to Shay. I
No,
honestly don't have a
Non-taken.
preference.
You don't. You can
No.
go either way.
There's sometimes I'll feel like
I
rather.
feel like you don't like group rides.
Sometimes I'd rather ride solo just because I don't have to think about anything.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like when someone else is there, you'll enjoy it more.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
You know,
totally.
your shared enjoyment is always better than solo enjoyment.
Mm-hmm.
But the only
Have you ever been to an amusement park by yourself?
No, I've been to the fair by myself.
It's kinda
I guess
lame.
That's similar.
It's kinda
It's lame.
It's lame.
No, I agree. I would not. I don't think I would.
It's like
enjoy
cool. I get to
taking
go
a
on
trip.
whatever ride I want, but I'm doing it by myself.
I know. Yeah,
It
it's
doesn't
way
bother
better.
me. I'll go to an
I
amusement
want
park by
someone to
myself.
watch me experience happiness, and
Yeah.
I want to watch
I dig
them
that.
experience happiness.
Yeah.
What I like to do, one of my favorite things to do is to go somewhere by myself and then go there with somebody else. It's like watching a movie.
Yeah.
And then sharing that
to
movie
someone you
with someone
like.
else
Yeah.
immediately after.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm a social creature,
Yeah.
and
You
I very
definitely are.
like I'm a very social creature. Call it codependent. I call it I'm a social creature.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's just personality traits. Like some people like doing stuff solo. I prefer to go. I like riding with people. More or less one or two people. Like I can go jump on the bikes and ride anywhere with. Like,
Josh
one or
was
two.
actually the person who made me actually like riding with people.
Yeah,
I used to never ride with people.
just ride. Well,
For
it was your main form of
8 years,
transportation.
I never rode with anyone else.
Yeah.
And when people would ask me to go on motorcycle rides with them, I'd be like, why?
Well, because that was your transportation.
Yeah, I was like, why
everywhere,
would you
though.
want to go ride a motorcycle somewhere? Like, and do what?
I mean, people go cruise in cars too.
Yeah, that seemed
You know?
very strange to me. I was just like, what's the point?
People, you just go act up, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just didn't. I wasn't
that
acting
not-
up
Yeah.
when I was that age, Like, my early 20s was very tame.
I've always been
I've got a lot of.
a big organizer of people. I've always liked doing that. That's always something I've always done.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I feel like compelled. I do feel that, like, compilation. What's the word I'm looking for? I feel compelled to do that. But I don't really know why. But it's been my entire life. I've always organized people. Been like, let's all do this together.
Yeah.
Because I think it's because you love riding so much that you want other people to enjoy
Now-
that.
That's good. Yeah, I want
Yeah.
other people to experience it too. I'm like, hey, this is actually
Josh
fun.
does
I mean,
like.
it's kind of like
he
the whole
also
point
likes
of the videos
to show
as
people
well.
movies as
Like,
well.
I
Like,
do love showing people movies.
Yeah.
I
like
like
he
it when
wants
people
to.
ride,
He
like-
wants to watch you enjoy it.
Let me ask you this. So with this traveling in the RV all the way across country and it being like you had to plan this because we've planned this for a while that you guys
Right.
were going to take the RV. Come
You
back.
say we
Time we
had
planned it.
to plan it, but we didn't
I know. Okay.
plan it.
The
Yeah, it
idea
was
was to plan it, but instead we winged it and get the RV out here. But if when you travel like that, right, knowing you're basically taking this RV and you're packing all your stuff, like, do you guys have like essential things that you bring with you on trips like this? Or
Motherfucker
traveling?
didn't bring a tool.
What do you, not one
No, I
tool?
didn't bring any tools.
He didn't bring one tool.
That's abnormal for you.
He didn't bring. He was so
You were
confident.
confident the
I
RV
was
was
very
going to make
He
it.
was so confident. He didn't bring one tool.
Oh shit!
Yeah. I bought some on the road.
I know you did.
Not a zip tie.
Flex Seal? Did you bring Flex
The
Seal?
Flex Seal was already in the RV.
All right, so
I was just over it, man. I don't like planning.
no,
Motherfucker will stuff shit into his backpack,
yeah,
leave on his motorcycle.
and just bounce.
Goodbye.
Yeah, yeah.
What's in the bag? I hope there's underwear. One
I've
time
left-
there wasn't.
I've left without underwear before on accident. I'll go to Walmart. I can get more underwear.
That's what happens when you just
it
stuff
happened
it.
to me just recently, so I know the feeling. Yeah,
I don't know, man. I don't like planning. I don't like packing. That's another thing.
you don't have
that-
essential gear that you take with you on like
No.
a road trip. You don't
No.
like take a
Deodorant.
piece with you.
His
or
camera
anything like
equipment.
that.
Yeah, my camera stuff.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's
Just-
it. His essentials are his camera equipment, and then everything else is just I don't know. Figure it out on the way. If I had to,
I could
like,
not do that.
honestly,
I
like
a
if I had to
multi-tool.
clock you and how you, because I've been
Multi-tool.
on multiple trips with you at this point, I know how you pack.
Yeah,
the,
oh,
the
yeah.
only essential shit you pack is like your cameras.
Yeah.
Even then, he won't even pack a phone charger.
I forget it a lot.
Like almost every time.
I know.
My phone's always dead, dude.
That's so weird. That's so foreign to me because I'm so like I have like particular shit I take with me.
Oh, me too.
Everywhere.
I'm so particular. I don't leave my house without this coffee cup.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
I'm in Oregon with this coffee cup.
You're the most organized person I've met.
I don't even have a wallet.
He doesn't have a wallet. He's free balling his ID and his fucking
What else do I need?
debit card right now.
I've been across the country
I wish I had
multiple
that freedom.
times with I keep my ID and my credit card in my pocket.
It's because I made him take his social security card out of his wallet. He's like, well, I guess I'm just not carrying the wallet then.
Yeah.
So it's just ID.
Now
just
he
keep my
just
ID
has
with
his
him.
ID and his debit card in his pocket.
Yeah.
Fucking idiot.
That's so fun. He doesn't
I mean,
care.
I've been cross country several times. Like
Listen,
that.
I've had him come out for like weeks at a time, and he comes off the plane with a backpack. I'm like, "Where's your luggage?" He's like,
That's it.
"I got it." I was like,
I hope there's underwear in there.
"Okay, that's it."
Yeah.
Shay gets off. There's like 4 bags.
So
I
just,
know, dude. That's why I'm excited to have the RV here is because I've always
don't have to
wanted to
carry.
be that hot girl in the airport with one thing in her hand, and that one thing is a Starbucks coffee cup.
That's it.
That's all I fucking want. I want to be that girl so bad, and I'm sorry I can't be her.
I don't. It's not just that I don't need it. I actively dislike it.
Really.
Yeah, so it's like I think that's really what it is. It's not that I'm like, oh man, I could just go anywhere. Like obviously, I suffer sometimes because I don't bring stuff.
Well,
Like,
yeah.
I'm aware of that.
You get
Like,
caught with no tools.
Yeah,
in
it happens,
Death
yeah.
Valley.
He gets his medication
But
mailed to
sucks.
him.
I so actively dislike planning
Yeah.
that I'm just like, nah, I'm not doing that.
Well, I got a taste of that when we did the Sturgis trip because we had like our routes planned, and then Josh was like, "Yeah, we're not doing that."
Yeah, we're not doing that.
I was like,
Sorry.
Okay, I love you
I didn't know
guys.
it was like that. I'm
I
sorry.
love.
I
Shout
I'm
out-
Like,
I
wanna
actually
shout
talk
out
am
about it.
so glad it was
To
like that.
you,
'Cause I was like,
Jason.
"Yeah, let's fucking
Shout
go."
out to Matt. Shout
Maddie.
out to Q.
QB.
And shout out to Gabe.
What a great team.
Your route sucked.
Yeah, listen, they didn't really have a route.
I
It
love
was
you
me and
guys. You guys
Q.
are seriously. I will remember you guys and
I
think
don't
about you
remember
guys
what it
forever.
was.
But that route was not good.
I will do that though.
I don't
like,
even
I'll
think
make,
we shared it.
I'll make-
Josh was just like, "No, we're gonna go this way," and we were like, "Fuck it, let's go."
I'm sorry. I literally didn't realize that I did that, but I'm very bad about that.
No,
about like
it
being
was
like,
fine.
no, this is what we're doing.
We knew ahead
And
of time
just
we
'cause,
were
like-
just gonna roll with the flow. That's how the whole
Well,
I'm not a
here
trip
it
was.
is. It's
megalomaniac. I'm just,
literally
like, so
our
used to making
way
the decisions.
or the highway.
No,
you
He
pick.
is definitely the like.
And
no,
it's like
we're doing it
literally
my way.
our way,
Yeah.
or you
I
go
do
take
feel
the
kind of bad
highway.
about that. I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick, but I feel bad about that because
No,
like I don't
don't.
realize that I do it. Like I just
Why? We didn't care. at
no,
all.
you know what I mean. though.
You
I'm
should
just
only
like,
feel bad when you do it when you literally lead us down the wrong road
I don't-
for
I don't-
miles.
I don't feel bad about that at
We're
all.
like-
So one of the reasons that I'm super like anti-planning is, and also like I'm a person of extremes, but I'm so anti-planning is, and I've talked about this before, but I read this article once that said that people have more enjoyment out of planning a trip than they do actually going on the trip.
Really?
Yeah, and that was me for sure. Maybe not more enjoyment planning it, but you tickle the same part of your brain.
Mm-hmm.
So planning a trip tickles the same part of your brain as going on the trip. So you get the same satisfaction without actually doing it.
That's why everybody talks about all the businesses they're going to start in their kitchen late at night with their friends. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And they get the same satisfaction of actually starting the business.
Right,
that
without
they
any of the
talked
hard
about
work.
Yeah.
in their kitchen.
Yeah.
But then they
Way
wake up
less
the next
pay.
day so satisfied, like, man, I fucking did it. I solved all the world's problems.
Yeah.
Such as it's weird, but it's a weird little human trick. And that freaked me out so bad because before I went on my first trip, I had planned so many trips.
Mm-hmm.
I planned going here. I had gone and shopped for items that it would take with me and like planned it out. Like, okay, I'm going to go once I get these 10 things and I'm ready and I'm going to go here. And all of a sudden I had the whole trip planned out and I would get so frustrated planning it and getting all this stuff that like all of a sudden I'm just like, this is going to be like $5,000 to take this trip.
And then
And so
never
I'm just
went.
like, fuck this, I'm not going. And then like a month later, I start planning it again and start talking about doing
Yeah.
it again until I finally was just like, man, I read that article and I was like, fuck this, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
And I didn't pack almost
like-
anything. I just left.
Instead of buying a whole kitchen utensil set to go camping, I just brought I brought a couple regular kitchen utensils from my house and I wrapped it in a paper towel, like a reusable rag.
Yeah.
And brought a sponge and a little, I filled one of those shampoo bottles from a hotel thing. I filled it up with dish soap. So that was like my little portable dish soap. So I didn't have to go buy a separate dish soap to put dish soap in, because then you've got all these things. You're like, now I need 50 things to go camping and I can afford 3.
Yeah.
If I go camping for one night, I do not do dishes. Like, I do
Throw
this
that
when I
shit
get
in a
home,
bag
dude.
and get. Do you do the same thing he does?
Fuck no.
You never
Fuck
grab a
no.
backpack and take off?
Fuck no. I would rather die.
Yeah.
I don't let them take my bag from me at the airport.
Yeah. So, do you take less trips then because of that?
No, I just bring a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just I've gotten better over the years, like less stressed, and I've learned how to pack and what I actually do need. I would just say I've just adapted.
Yeah.
Like instead of being less anxious about taking the trip, I've just gotten used to being anxious about taking the trip, because I'm always going to be anxious about taking a trip.
Mm-hmm.
I am so stressed before we come here every time.
Why? Because
I'm leaving my house.
Yeah.
I get stressed to leave my house if I'm going to the grocery store.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It doesn't matter if I'm going to Portland or
Does
if
it
I'm going
get
down the
better
street.
anytime?
No.
No.
You just get used to being anxious, and you know how to like accommodate your anxiety and cope with it instead of just like.
That doesn't happen to you at all, huh, Josh? You just.
Yeah, I get anxious.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I just.
Not
I
about
don't
that.
No, I get anxious not being like, because I
At
got
home.
obligations, things I need to do.
Yeah.
But I just like, I don't know, what the fuck ever.
Yeah.
But it isn't. Josh is just not a things person,
I do that too, though.
He's not a things. He's
yeah,
like.
he doesn't care about like the.
Oh, I'm
No.
already at the point now where like we've been on the road for what, and this happens to me every time. I'm on the road for like more than a week.
Yeah.
I'm like, I've already let go of everything
Yeah, he could never.
Everything.
If he never went back,
I never
he'd be
saw it
okay.
again, I'd be fine.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
If I don't see something for
What
a
about
week,
barf
it doesn't
party?
exist anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, I would like think about it when somebody brought it up and be like, oh, I wish I still had that. But then it would just be like out of my head again.
Like an ex or something.
Yeah. I would just be like, I can let go of shit. So I'm not a sentimental person. I can let go of shit like
Especially
instantaneously.
I am opposite.
When it comes to material
Sentimental
items,
stuff.
I feel like when you grow up really, really poor, you go one of two ways.
Yeah.
Like once you get yourself at least
Material
to a
shit means nothing to you.
like some sort of comfortable level in life, you're either go Josh's level where you're like, I literally don't care about one single item that I own, or you're like me where I'm like, I will literally pack bond with this rock and I'll never throw this rock away now because I love it. And what if I don't get another rock?
Yeah.
It could be the last one.
I'm just like, so what if it's your last one? Yeah. You only get one life. Everything's your last one. So it's like, life is finite. So everything is, I'm just like, okay, I experienced that. I'm not going to have it forever. Nothing lasts forever, except the earth and stars.
Did you write that just now?
Yeah, I did. I just made that up. It's a little
Oh my
haiku I was working on
God,
earlier.
dude.
Haiku.
Really
Yeah, when I was on my
good.
2.5-hour lunch break in the woods.
Were you like high thinking about
By
your
the way,
dad?
I'm gonna have to write you up for that.
I was hoping for like a commendation because I came back. But
Service
you know,
medal.
Yeah. I mean, I was pretty impressed, but relative, I guess.
Oh my God, we should like have little ribbons. There's like for very
Good job.
minimal tasks, like came back to work.
Pin it on.
Yeah, I mean, it was a. You guys don't know how close it was, but
He was about to just
Coors Light away.
keep going and never come back. Leave all his items here.
I
The
do
boss
like
and
my
all.
stuff,
Call
so
us
it's like,
from Utah. Sorry, guys.
I can't just sit here and say like there are things that I like things that I have. I like motorcycles that I have. Like I would never sell them,
Yeah, no.
because
But you
selling.
could roll.
But I could walk away forever.
Yeah.
I know I feel like that's weird because it's almost like, out of sight, out of mind. Like, well, I never sold it, so technically it's still mine, even if I never see it again.
Yeah.
Whereas selling it, you're like, this is I no longer have this.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, that makes sense.
It's like if you just ghost a girl instead of breaking up with her, that's still your girlfriend.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you ghost her?
Yeah, like if you just like
Yeah.
stop talking to a girl and never break up with her, but
Yeah.
you just never like delete her phone number, block her phone number, and just never
You
see her
guys never
again.
broke up.
That's still your girlfriend.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
You guys never broke up.
More of a philosophical thing, you know?
Yeah, you know?
Shit, don't tell my wife. I probably have a few girlfriends out there.
Homie, that's our girlfriend.
So it's you know, I get to that point on the road where I just like let go of everything. The weird place that I get with trying really hard too, I don't like to give up. And if like getting to the point where I give up, which I think this can be kind of unhealthy sometimes. But getting to the point where I give up takes so much that if I get to that point, like shit's fucking dire.
Yeah.
Like if I give up, like it's bad.
So how close were you on this trip here?
Dude, he was there.
I mean,
Motherfucker,
whenever
he did not think we were getting here.
I didn't
dude.
think we were going to do it.
I'd never
moved-
in my life seen Josh on a road trip. How many trips have we been on together now?
Oh, quite
Too
a
many.
few.
Like, so I've never once seen Josh be like, I don't think we can get ourselves out of this one.
It's the amount of vehicle that's the issue.
Yeah.
So I'm over RVs.
Done. You're like,
Fucking cool, dude. Like I'm
this
good.
RV is never leaving the spot.
I might go somewhere in Oregon, but
Yeah.
it's not leaving the state.
No, it's not.
I
lives here
disagree.
now.
I disagree. I think it'll get. It's like
It's stuck here forever.
It's gonna get its little checkup because it didn't get a little checkup before we left Florida. We just drove it across
Yeah.
the entire country without checking one single thing.
I'm just
in
saying,
the line.
with a motorcycle, I'm much less likely to give up because I know more about it.
Yeah, it's
It's
manageable.
Yeah, but
I
you
know
could.
how to fix it.
Yeah.
You know, the
You
RV.
didn't read. You wouldn't read the manual though. You could have
Shit,
known
I
more
know,
about it.
I know enough about the engine to know we were getting to a point where it was beyond my abilities,
Yeah.
and so
I just don't believe that that's true.
Well,
What's beyond your abilities? Like,
rebuilding a turbo on the
Dude,
side of the road?
Yeah.
I mean, I only realized that Josh doesn't know everything like 5 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was a pretty big realization for me. I thought he was like Google. And it turns out he just answers confidently and lies.
He's pretty good.
I'll lie. Just
no,
don't
he
not
knows a
have an
lot
answer.
though. Like he's shockingly good at working
So
on
sure,
motors.
so that kind of
But
just
when you're
well,
to
that'll
go to
just
diesel motor, it'll
it'll bleed over to things today where I'm just so overly confident that Josh will be able to fix anything.
Yeah.
I'm like, ignorance is bliss, sitting at the fucking front dash with like reading I'm like sitting there with all the paperwork out, like reading about this 1989 bus. And I read the whole manual twice, like even the service manual, and I didn't comprehend all of it. I didn't comprehend most of it.
Yeah.
I felt like I was like reading the Silmarillion of Lord of the Rings, and I had to keep going back and checking the glossary and being like, wait, what does that word mean?
I know what I don't know. And once I get to a certain point, like, so a lot of the stuff when you see me figure
That's
something
fair.
out on an engine,
That's
it's
the thing, is
just-
I
it's-
don't know what I don't know.
For me, it's common sense. So it's like I know the basics of what something needs to move. And so I will usually, if something's not running, there are only a few different options that it can be. It doesn't have air. It doesn't have spark. It's for a 4-stroke engine anyway.
Yeah.
No air, no spark. You know, if you have no air, no spark, no fuel, it's not going to fucking run. If one of those things is missing, it will not run. So you just start from there and you start eliminating things. So I go like, does it have spark? Yes. Does it have air? Yes. Does it have fuel? Yes. And so from there, if it's a more modern thing, I'll start checking sensors. Like, they're a loose wire? You know, it's like I know where likely locations, you know, where they put, like, is it a crank position sensor that will cause no spark? Like, there's just things that, just because I don't know about that bike in particular, I kind of can know, like, okay, I kind of know, like, the things that will make any motor not work.
Yeah.
But with that one, it's like, it's a very simple motor, but some of the pieces on it are very complex and very large, and not readily available. You know, so it's like when the turbo goes out, which it didn't, it was an exhaust leak, but when like the exhaust manifold breaks, like you can't walk into an auto parts store and get that.
No.
Like you got to get it from a junkyard.
Or have like a custom welder.
Yeah, it's like it's just not going to happen.
No.
So, and then getting somebody to put it on, because I don't have the tools to put that on. And now, so like someone's going to charge you like $200 an hour to do that. So it got to the point where I felt like I was like, dude, we're running in, like, this is getting bad. It's a cost thing. So with a motorcycle, I'll park it on, you can stick it anywhere. You know, I'll find someone. Someone could come pick me up in a truck with a 40-foot long, 37,000-pound bus.
You're
not just allowed
yeah.
to put it somewhere.
You're a lot more recognizable. Well, the thing is you've also gotten so lucky so many times. God was just testing you. You know how many times Josh has been broken down on the side of the road?
Quite a few.
Do you know how many times Josh has been broken down on the side of the road and somebody drove by and said, "Hey, are you Shade Tree Surgeon?"
Oh yeah,
It's been multiple times.
It has been
and, like,
two.
they also helped me.
definitely helps.
Hey, are you Shade Tree Surgeon? Do you want to stay at my house for 3 days while you fix your motorcycle?
Yeah, dude. I did that in Oklahoma. I just tore the entire bike apart in this dude's garage.
It's crazy. I love that.
So that can't happen to you every time.
It's happened to me enough that
I mean, it's happened to you
it will happen
like
again.
more than 3 times. That's happened to him. So
Well, the other part of that is like how many people are going to be able to help you tow an RV to their house where you can work on
Not
it.
that
we
RV.
had triple
Not
A.
Not that RV, dude.
Yeah, that's a big RV.
So-
AAA, that's a good question. Do they work on RVs?
They don't work on RVs.
They don't work.
will
They
help
tow
you
them.
tow them?
We had
They will
special
help you tow.
RV insurance,
But it's
for the
usually like a few
AAA.
days. You gotta
or,
wait.
or AAA
I'm
for
glad
the
you
RV.
thought of that. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
So it's just that's the biggest thing with it is that
We only thought of it after we broke down
The
the
first
first time and realized we didn't have AAA for the RV. I want to like give us the like, oh well, at least you had AAA, but
Nope.
it's like no, we only learned that lesson from failing the first time.
and also like so if you're gonna keep the RV someplace, that's the thing is that it's like
It costs money
it's $100
every
a
day, unless
unless
And
you
not
get a storage
cheap.
unit
yeah.
or a storage space, and then it's like maybe 50. It's expensive. You know, so it's just like that's why I was getting frustrated and being like, dude, this is not working out because I was just like, I'll go and when one door closes, I'll go like
God
all right.
opens a window.
I'll just look and go like put the spaghetti model out and be like, what are my options?
It's just like actually a smaller opening than a
And
door.
So I'll just go like, all right, what are my options? And so we were running out of options because like the options were spend a ton of money. And I'm just like that, you know what
That's
I mean?
not an option.
Yeah, so that's what you're running into that where it's just like, what would fix this problem? $10,000.
Yeah.
You know, and so that's not like road trip money.
No.
That's not like road trip money is like a horrible worst case scenario, $1,000. You
Yeah,
know,
that's
like,
investment money.
That's like 10 grand. You're like, dude, that's not. I'll fucking have to. I was.
I don't know
at
about
some
10
point,
grand.
Like one of the spaghetti models pointing towards something was like walk away from it and be like, belongs to the world now.
Do you?
I mean, if I would have
it's
had
like-
to. I wouldn't want to.
We would have got it back.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to, but I'm like,
AAA would have helped
you
us.
know, I
Yeah.
just was like, that was one of the options, dude. Towing that thing from where we were in Twin Falls, towing that from Twin Falls to here would have cost thousands of dollars.
No, it wouldn't have. So hear me out. Guess what? They
would've.
told me they would have towed us 100 miles 4 times.
Oh, did they?
Yeah,
Well, that's
they
only
did.
400 miles. How far were you?
5.
All right.
100.
Oh, is that where you were? 500
So we would
miles
only
out?
would have needed a 100-mile tow
All right.
out of pocket. Everything else would have been from the AAA.
That's nice. Oh,
So
'cause
I
you
was-
get 4 toes.
Because you get 4
4
tows.
100-mile
You
tows.
just get
Ah.
towed each time
But
farther
also,
to
I'm just like,
Portland.
if they tow it the first time, then it's 3 days later.
We'd
Someone-
get there eventually. You're so negative
Someone
right
would have
now.
to be there.
What?
You can't just get your car towed when you're not there.
Yeah, I know. We'd stay with it. It's a bus. It's not like it didn't.
You're like,
turned
I sleep
on.
there now.
The AC worked.
Fair enough.
So, like, I mean, we just get it towed to a different campground each time,
Well,
right?
The
And people
point
say
was-
I'm not realistic.
Hey, it's a
She's
solution.
realistic after the fact.
It's a solution instead of just ditching it there in the middle of
I
nowhere
had
on the
a
side of
bunch
the
of
road.
solutions before that.
Wait. So,
I'm
Josh,
just saying that was on my spaghetti plot
how positive was Shay during this adventure?
the whole time.
She was
Yeah?
positive.
The whole
She-
time.
she-
There was not one moment when I thought that we were not going to get here.
Really? That's impressive. 'Cause
Yeah, that's why I
know-
was like seeing Josh be like, "Oh, I don't know if we're gonna." I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
Yeah.
I was like, this is fine. And I'm like, but also so ignorant to the situation.
Sure.
You know, like
I didn't
that's the
give
thing.
up.
That's
I
what
did
he
not
said.
give
Is
up.
he
No,
knows?
you know.
Josh,
Well, clearly
I feel like
you
that's
made
the whole thing. Is Josh says he knows what he doesn't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think I was that close to giving up. I just was like, I probably was closer than I've been on.
Yeah, I don't think you were that close to giving up. I just think you were
wouldn't have given
closer
up.
that you've ever been.
It's also just
The
it's
5 mile an hour
expensive.
uphills were getting
That's
to him.
rough, dude.
Yeah, 5 mile an hour uphill for hundreds,
It's
if
also-
not
It's
1,000 miles.
So,
That'll break you down.
It's so expensive.
Oh,
like
yeah,
every
and
time
expensive.
you stop at the gas station, like when
Yeah.
you stop at the gas station and don't buy gas, you spend $30.
Yeah. A couple hot dogs and
Yeah, hot dogs, you
fucking
drink,
couple
you're fucking
beers.
there.
You're
You
30
stop
bucks.
you stop at the gas station, the RV, it's $250 fucking dollars.
Yeah.
And if you'd like to support that
insane.
huge mistake, you can buy a t-shirt from brapstar.com.
So it's like it was just like that's why I won't do it again. I don't understand
We
how
need a
people travel
RV's huge
by
mistake
RV.
t-shirt.
It's I'm glad it's here because we got it for a reason. It's here. It's Brapstar West.
Yeah.
It's where we're doing, the Brapstar sessions collaborations. our
Also,
home
find a
base.
cheaper
Like, it's a
place
good
to
thing.
stay in Portland.
It's still cheaper than renting a place. In
yeah,
Portland.
like we
And
By a lot.
it's nice. Like
Yeah.
inside, the motor might not be running great,
d-
Yeah.
but the inside of that thing
It's
is
very nice.
beautiful.
you can't even like find one that's that nice.
No.
I am on.
sweet.
There's 2 Vogue RV groups on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a lot. First of all, like you know how many Winnebago groups on Facebook there are?
A lot.
There's 2 Vogue ones.
Vogue is the
That's the RV.
RV? Okay. I didn't know.
So there's like dozens of people who care about it.
They didn't make a lot of them.
No?
Yeah. I mean, it's on a Crown bus chassis, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I mean, RV is an RV. It's like saying like this house manufacturer didn't make a lot of houses. It's like it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
But they're just they were a rare RV. They were super high end, but just like anything from back then, like it just doesn't hold its value at all. No RV does, and especially super high end RVs don't hold their value. So it's also just a gas thing. Like people, you can't. The cost of ownership is immense.
So do you think
know?
the gas, though, like, obviously you're getting terrible gas mileage.
Right.
If that thing was running optimally,
It would have gotten better.
yeah.
It would have been a lot easier. But also it's just like, dude, we're towing a trailer. where
Yeah, we
it's
were
just like-
towing a
That's
heavy,
a lot of weight.
Yeah.
heavy
And
trailer
2 motorcycles in the
with
trailer.
2 motorcycles.
So it's like we were getting very poor gas mileage.
Yeah. for sure.
So we could have like probably gotten like 2 to 3 more miles a gallon if we weren't running bad and towing a trailer, which over 3,000 plus miles is a big fucking deal.
yeah, it's a big deal.
So it is what it is, man. I'm just not into RV travel, or like I guess I would do it in like something smaller, or something that had the front end of a car. Like if it had like a truck front, like a Class C.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, okay, I know how that engine works.
Exactly.
I can get those parts at Discount Auto Parts. Yeah, you can't do that with the diesel trucks.
That bus, man, I tell you, it's beautiful, but
I'm glad it's here.
it's here.
It is here.
It's here.
It lives
It
here
made it.
But it's like motorcycle travel is where it's at. You don't have to. If you can take what you're traveling on and put it in the back of a rented U-Haul and take it back home if everything fails.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that's a pretty good backup plan.
I'll take that all day. Yeah.
Like that's or a friend with a truck, even better. The RV is a perfect example of how planning for a trip to be as good as possible, I personally think, is the better you plan for a trip to be, the farther you have to fall when it fails. So, like, okay, what's better than taking your house with you? Right? All the comforts of home. I'm not saying I know that's not true because you've been in an RV and you've been in an RV in July. Like, that's not true. But, like, on paper, you're like,
I know,
what's
but
better than
you,
taking
like,
everything
said
with
it
you?
like that, and I was already buying.
Yeah, you're already
I was
in.
already eating.
I was
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
You're like,
yeah,
what's
he
better?
said it, and you're like,
Taking your
yeah,
home
the
with you?
comforts
do
of
that.
home. You're like, I
Everything.
could do that. I could
It's
do
like,
that.
I can be on the road, but my house is here, too.
And then
Yeah.
you immediately were like, yeah, but that's not true. And I was like,
It's not
I was
true.
like, damn, fuck, I do
And
know
so it's
that.
like, dude,
Fuck.
the more you
There's a lot of
I
people
think
agreeing with you right now too.
the more the better you try to make it. I'm not saying there's a happy medium somewhere. For me, it's very low. But the better you try to make it, the farther you have to fall, and the more likely it is for you to fall because you're just precariously balancing all this stuff while you're traveling. So that's why motorcycle travel makes so much sense, because it's so lightweight and it's so easy. It's like you can camp if you want to. I genuinely, when I'm on the road, prefer to stay in a cheap hotel. But camping is for people who don't have the money to spend on a hotel. You're saving $50 to $75 a night.
It's a great option.
So it's like, it's a thing, you can just take wet nap showers, or if you stay at campgrounds, most of them have showers.
A lot of them have
but
showers.
You got to bring a lot more with you if you camp. And so that's why one of the reasons I like staying in hotels, because I don't have to bring that shit with me, but I have the privilege of having enough money to afford hotel rooms.
I bet it's not all that much cheaper, I guess, to stay in a cheap hotel than camp. If you really break it down,
it depends.
You still gotta.
It really depends where you are.
Yeah, no.
If
true.
you're in Alabama, or are you in California? Are you in Nebraska? Or are you in Las Vegas?
Are you talking hotel prices?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which actually, Nebraska and Las Vegas have really similar hotel prices.
It's
well, you guys love Nebraska. We should maybe take another trip.
Don't.
I'm willing to hear. I'm willing to hear someone out.
If anyone in the comments is from Nebraska, make your case.
The best I've gotten, and because I read through the comments in the last video, and where I asked that, and the best I got was someone was like, "Well, the people are really nice," and I was like, "I can't deny that." Everyone I met in Nebraska was pretty nice. Yeah. So I was like, "All right." I don't know if I'm going to go back, but
it's not
might
on
have
the top
to.
of your priority list.
So motorcycles. I think that to me, that's the lightest, easiest way to travel with the least amount of consequences if it goes awry, and the easiest to fix if it goes awry. Because even traveling in a car, like getting a car back home, is tough. Mm-hmm. You can push a motorcycle.
I've done it.
If you had to push a motorcycle 2 miles, you can.
What's the farthest you've ever pushed a motorcycle?
By yourself? That ain't happening.
What is the farthest you've ever pushed a motorcycle?
Over a mile. I don't know if I've ever done it 2 miles, but I've
pushed my motorcycle over a mile.
Yeah. I don't think 2 miles.
But to be fair, mine at the time was like a 650 Suzuki Boulevard. So it's wasn't that heavy.
I had to push my Ducati once off the interstate to go get gas, and
the
gas
Multistrada?
station was 1.2 miles away.
Yeah.
Where was that?
Rough. In Tampa.
When?
I don't know. Not too
You're
long
gonna be
ago.
6 months ago.
Yeah,
6 months ago.
I had to get the dash from kilometers to miles, so I didn't know how much gas I had left.
Literally so dumb.
Well, you pushed the bike here.
I never did.
Didn't you run out of gas?
Yeah, he ran out of gas
the last time he was here.
And I had to.
And on that, it happened.
On the Shovelhead and on the KZ, you ran out of gas.
Yeah, the KZ. That's what I was thinking about.
And you started pushing it, and then we came and gave you a gas can.
I could push a bike pretty far.
Yeah. I can push a bike pretty far, depending on the bike.
So what I do is I keep track of my miles with the odometer.
Yeah.
Shay never resets her odometer.
Yeah.
Never, ever. I want to know how many miles I've traveled ever.
So that's how I keep track of my mileage, which is why I was messed up on the Ducati, because I still, the entire time I owned it.
What the fuck is a kilometer?
It was in kilometers the entire time.
Why do they even put kilometers on there?
I know, this is fucking America. It's so disgusting.
Silly. I've pushed a motorcycle off the freeway. I'm not pushing this thing.
Just leave it. It's the world's motorcycle now.
If I had to, I would, of course, but I've never had to, so I haven't.
Well, just wait, Jason.
I know. There's time. I ride with you enough. I know.
Just wait, dude. We're about to have Shovelhead summer here, dude.
Oh, that's true.
You're going to be pushing a bike, man.
At some point, I know I will be
pushing. If you ride a Shovelhead, at some point you'll have to push it.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a cool thing about those bikes, though. Why I really like them is that you can always make it run, though.
Yeah.
There's always, unless something's melted or fucked or whatever, you just have to have a few things with you. This is where I'll pack some stuff. Shovelhead, I know what to pack. So I'll just be
yeah, with the RV, he didn't know what to pack, so he packed nothing.
So I didn't take anything.
Yeah. You know how many tool sets we have at home?
Oh, yeah.
It's not like we just have the one.
Right.
Yeah, well, I know what to pack for a Shovelhead, so I do.
It's not even like we only have 4 tool sets.
Because you can get around breakers. If the breakers fizzle out, you always pack a piece of wire.
Yeah.
And you just fucking jump.
Oh no!
That shit.
Listen, I know for sure you know how to work on Shovelheads.
Yeah, and he's I don't even know if I'll need a wire.
Well, I didn't know. Turns out I needed a tube, but
damn it, didn't have the backup wire.
I didn't have the backup wire.
Oh shit!
At a certain point, I think you did need a wire.
You did.
I'm just saying. So ultimately, and as we reach towards ad infinitum on this podcast,
Right.
I think that ultimately what I really wanted to say was, it doesn't matter how far you go. Don't try to make your trip perfect, and that's what everybody says, but you really can't, dude. And I feel like if you wait to take your perfect trip, you're going to be disappointed.
I don't know.
Ultimately,
I feel like,
a lot of times trips
you can
suck.
plan to take your perfect trip, but it's like about being able to pivot, like planning to pivot. Have your spaghetti model ready,
Yeah.
It's like, know that things are not going to go as planned, because
Yeah.
when do things ever go as planned? And just plan to pivot. And if you plan to pivot, you'll probably have a way better time than just like...
And have a positive person with you, because that
Yeah.
definitely helps. I know that having you stay positive was
I'm not always a
huge
positive
factor.
person. We were just
I know,
taking
that's
turns.
the crazy part is like, like
Josh and I
when
just
one's
work really
down,
well together.
the other backs it up.
Yeah,
like
we just know when to
It doesn't
take
matter who
turns.
you are. Like having
Oh, if
somebody
we're both
Oh, you're talking
cranky.
about like we were on the trip with Gabe shit?
Oh.
That was like, I knew that was a solvable problem. Yeah. So
Well,
I
that
like,
was
not
the
worried.
dumbest
Yeah.
problem ever. Gabe, dude, it's still
Fix your
fucked up.
tire,
It's
man.
still,
It's still he hasn't fixed
he
his
hasn't
tire.
changed the tire.
I wouldn't
Gabe,
have fixed it either.
I probably, if it was still running for me,
I
I
would've-
probably wouldn't have
I
fixed
would
it
have
either.
fixed it 100%.
Yeah, but you've
I'd
also
have caught up
you've
with you
never
guys
pushed a
later.
bike, so
Wow, that's true.
Ouch, dude.
I'd have called AAA and had them fix it.
yeah, no shit.
So,
and if it popped, I'd have got my 100 miles of free towing.
I feel like you should practice by going on shorter trips. Ultimately,
Yeah, sometimes I'll do like a 1 or 2 hour trip.
ultimately, most of the time, most of the trips that I've gone on have sucked a lot in some ways. In some ways, they've been bad. And sometimes they've been bad for a long time during it. Like, they've just been like, this was awful for a while.
Was this the worst road trip you've ever been on?
Yes.
Damn.
Wow, with
that's
no
fucked up.
hesitation.
Oh,
yes.
big time.
This was not the worst road trip I've ever been on.
It was 100% the worst I've ever been on.
Oh man, dude, that sucks.
Well, I mean, whatever.
No,
I
it
don't
just
care.
sucks that like your worst road trip is with me.
I don't care that it's the worst.
I do. It's not about what you care about. It's about what I
I'm
care
not like
about
gonna.
right now.
I'll still tell the story. That's what I'm getting at. Is that
It's still a story.
you have to tell the story because it's to me, and this is again a philosophical thing, but like it's about like the way that memories exist, dude. Like you only experience a moment for that moment and it's gone. I'm not trying to sound freaking weird here, but then it's gone. So it's like, what do you have? You will experience a memory for so much longer than you'll ever experience a moment. Moments are just gone, dude. It's over. It's over. The second it's over, it's gone fucking forever. So what really matters is the story. And so, like, people say, like, only the moment matters. I think this is the biggest crock of shit in the world, dude. Live in the moment. What do you mean live in the moment, dude? The moment is gone already. That moment it's gone. It's so far away, I can't even
You're
see it
only
anymore,
left with
dude.
the story.
Yo,
You're
I am
only left with the story,
way
dude. Left with the
too
memory.
stoned for you to be this like
So-
philosophical right now. I'm literally gonna
true,
go have a
though.
fucking crisis in the woods. Where is the motorcycle? I need that spot that you went to for lunch.
I'm
Send
just
her
saying
the
that it's
directions.
like, so telling the story is so important. So it's like you have to go through this trip, and sometimes the trip's going to suck. That's but a moment during the trip. What really matters is the memory that you're going to carry with you. And so if you, like, while you're going through it, you don't even have to think about the memory. Just get through it, persevere, and then think about, later you think about how you're going to tell the story. You've been through this. So on your first cross-country trip was the first time I think you experienced this, is when you get back from doing something that is like really insane and wild and takes a lot out of you, and someone's like, hey, how was it? You're like,
Good.
Like you can't even tell the story.
It was good.
You got to spend a few days thinking about how you're going to tell the story.
Yeah.
And so once you figure out how you're going to tell the story and you process and like organize these memories,
Yep.
that's the part that's cool
Yep.
to me. So doing it is okay.
Dude, there's like a whole
Bordering on
ass,
suck.
there's a whole ass science reason about why it takes time
But, like,
for your brain to process it. Is
afterwards,
because
you
of
get
like
the reward.
how our brain stores memories. Is we store memories in REM sleep. So that's how our memories are processed from short-term memories to long-term memories. So you got to sleep.
So if that was his easily worst trip, and that wasn't yours, you have a worse trip than
Yeah.
that?
Oh, yeah. I have a worse trip. One time, this was the trip I actually had gotten my cat on. I drove to Ohio with a girl and her boyfriend. She was already living in Ohio, and I went to go rescue her with her boyfriend because she was leaving her other boyfriend in Ohio. And
And you're the cat?
yeah, I took the roommate's cat. Yeah, they were fucking gonna put it in the pound, and I was like, "You guys suck, man. Who takes a cat to the pound?"
Give me that cat.
So I took the fucking cat in a box and I drove it to Florida. That's not why it sucked. It sucked because it was like winter time and they kept smoking cigarettes with the windows very, very partially cracked because it was so cold. So they were like brown boxing the car and then
That's horrible.
also freezing.
Ugh.
And then I was like, man, I'm having a bad time. I'm going to light a blunt before it got to the weed. Like, you know how sometimes when you roll a blunt, there's like the paper and then the weed just like takes a second because you stuffed it in there. I didn't even get to the weed before we got pulled over. I lit the blunt. It like did its initial like flame up.
No way.
And it didn't even
That's the
burn
sound
up
of
to the
police.
weed. Like it, so
Dude,
the car never smelled
that
like
is
weed.
the worst
I put that shit out
timing.
so fast. She was speeding, dumbass. I was like, "Girl, I'm gonna light a blunt," and she's like, "All right." Fucking-
The cop come up to the window?
yeah,
Did he
dude.
smell the weed?
No, because it hadn't gotten to it
Okay.
yet.
Luckily, the
It was like
entire
literally
thing
the
smelled
first
like
light.
camels.
Yeah, the whole fucking car
Thank
smelled like
you, Camel.
fucking
It was the only
like
time of the trip you were glad
Marlboro
those Camel.
Smooths.
Gross.
Ugh.
Yeah, that trip sucked.
Yeah.
I guess the worst part of it was when we were in Ohio packing their shit. She like both her and her current boyfriend had ran out of money, so I had to pay for the whole trip back. And I was like, "Yo, guys, I'm like 18 or 19 at this point, and I worked at a pool as a lifeguard. I ain't flushed with cash.
No, lifeguards aren't making big
Right,
dollars.
but they were
I
like,
was making $10 an hour.
You had like $400.
Yeah, I had like $400, but that was enough to get home. So."
Yeah, that's all you
Yeah.
needed.
Pay up, bitch. So that was probably the worst road trip I've ever been on, was like
a bad
being
one.
brown boxed in a car from Ohio to here with a girl I didn't even like that much.
I feel like that's not all, like, I don't know. I know it is a road trip, but that's just like something that happens to you when you're young. That was not like, almost not
it was
by choice.
my first time driving a car out of the state of Florida.
Right.
It was a road trip. I drove all the
Definitely
way
a road
from
trip.
Florida to Ohio and back. I didn't fly there and then drive home. I drove all the way there and back
Yeah, that's a road trip.
with in the brown box the whole way there
It's
too.
a dirty road trip.
It was
No.
a dirty ass road. It
It's a
was
dirty road
gross.
trip.
Gross. I got my cat though.
Well, my worst road trip
That was the
with a
best.
cat,
That was
by
the best
way.
thing.
Oh, that
The best thing I got was
RV
my
in
cat.
July.
No, actually, that was a very rough road trip.
What
just
was your
'cause
worst road trip?
I think we even had AC. They just refused to turn it on. But no,
Sounds like my
we
parents.
packed the house in Tennessee to move back to California, and I had an RV. Or I'm not RV, a U-Haul with no AC in the
Ew.
dead of like July, August, and I had a cat with us that literally screamed. The
Oh
whole
no! I
way.
know what you're talking about too.
It was
row,
howling.
row.
And it
Row.
wouldn't stop. I literally thought about just letting the cat
Just
out.
let
Yeah,
it
you're-
out.
you belong
You're
to-
free.
Bro,
It's like letting a squirrel
if you
go,
have
dude.
no idea how close I was. I toughed that shit out. It was.
What was the cat's
it
name?
Was the worst. Cat dog.
I could tell he was a treasured pet.
And you know how I got this goddamn cat? He just came to my door one day, and I was like, I opened the door, and he was howling at my door.
Right.
Meow.
And he's
Meow.
just like, hey, welcome
Meow.
to hell.
And I was like, "Ooh, what's up, man?" He just
Meow.
walked in, and I had literally
And you had a cat dog.
had a
Right.
cat.
And I like know what.
If you
year
have a
it was
picture
by
of
you
cat
saying
dog, we'll include
yeah,
it. For,
yeah.
I'm just like, oh, the
Yeah.
year was 1997.
2000
Yes.
exactly. Yeah,
Cat Dog,
that-
a show on
It was a
Nickelodeon.
show. Yeah.
Life in the world of a little cat dog.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
dude.
know.
I was born in '95. I know.
Cat dog. Yeah, he was a cool cat. Meaner than shit. He fought every cat in the neighborhood.
Dude, I love that
Fuck
you're
yeah.
just like, this just came on my porch and also was the source of so much misery.
Yeah, he was. He was just a miserable. And then when I ended up getting him back, he just would beat up every cat in the neighborhood. And then all the neighbors would be like, "Hey, dude, your
Yeah, your
cat
cat
is
sucks."
an asshole." And I'm like,
and you're like, oh.
I didn't even buy this cat. Like, he
Yeah,
just-
It's the world's cat.
He's the world's cat.
he
dude.
just jumped
I just
in.
feed him.
It's a dumpster
I
cat.
didn't even bring him. He jumped in the car. And, all right, like he hitchhiked here.
Dude.
No, he was cool. I felt bad for him.
I feel like that would also be a really good excuse to tell your wife if she ever caught you cheating, you could just be like, "Oh, I didn't bring her here. She just got in the
She's
car.
just feed her.
She just fed her, dude. I don't know how she got here."
You just came in and ate sandwich and never left.
Dude,
Yeah.
road trips can suck.
Suck.
They can suck. Vacations can suck. Traveling can suck. I think that
If everything was good, you wouldn't have anything like to compare it to, right?
I feel like it sucks more than it doesn't. I really do. I feel like it more often sucks. But it's like Jason said, keeping a good attitude, knowing that you get to tell the story later, enjoying the experience for what it is, even if it's tough.
It's like the same reason people do like marathons and shit,
Yeah.
right? It's like endurance.
Triumph over adversity.
Yeah.
And there's not everybody travels. Like some people go to resorts. Like that's usually pretty dope.
Yeah.
You just like buffet every day, massages. Like
Yeah, some people
Doesn't suck.
some people fly on an airplane.
because I've met a lot of people on road trips who have started traveling because of the videos, which I feel very compelled to explain myself more now because people will be like, I started traveling because I watched some of your videos, which makes me very happy. That's part of what I like. I'm like, please experience this. It's awesome.
It's
But then
great.
a lot of people, not a lot, but several times I've come across someone who didn't have a good time. And I'm just like, I need to explain better what this is like because I was like, you were looking for something that you didn't find on this. And I think that, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's happened several times to where I can tell the person is just like, so is this it?
Yeah, but that's probably the same
I'm like,
person who
yeah,
took
man,
their
it is.
fucking
Yeah.
road trip to the Grand
You know?
Canyon and they're like, "Is this it? This hole in the
Like
ground?"
waiting for
it's
like an epiphany or something.
yeah,
And
it's
I'm
like,
there's no
dude,
epiphany,
you're
dude.
just not easily impressed.
Oh, you're like, listen, do you think in the videos when I'm eating a fucking hot dog at 2 a.m. and it's freezing, like, is fun at times?
Yeah,
Like, man,
I mean,
that
like we'll
shit
make
sucks.
it fun, we make it jokes and
Yeah.
stuff. But I'm like, if you're not
It's
willing
the
to,
story.
if you're not willing to make it fun,
Yeah.
then you're gonna have a bad time.
Well,
dude.
yeah,
you
I
sure
mean,
as
and to
fuck
be honest,
are.
we usually just don't record that because, like, we're not really usually feeling like pointing a camera at your face when your stomach hurts, but you have to eat another hot dog and you're so tired,
Yeah.
but you can't go to
I
sleep because
know.
you still
Well,
need
you-
to get to the next town.
I'll tell the
get
story.
it.
I film when I'm having a good time.
Yeah, we'll
dude.
tell the story
yeah.
afterwards, but like in that moment, turning the camera on to record yourself eating that hot dog,
Yeah.
That-
It's too much work.
it's not that it's too much work, it's a vortex of misery.
Yeah.
Right. It was just hard to do it because I like making videos.
Yeah,
And
I
so-
mean, I don't want to not like it.
So it's like I tend to not
It's a good
do it
point.
when things suck because I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't want to film this, dude. I'm not having a good time.
Yeah, that's a
like-
good point.
So, well,
But
that
isn't
also,
that part of also,
but that's
like,
also just
showing the
to put-
experience?
It is.
it
yeah.
is, and we do show some of
Like,
the
at
suck
times I
too.
know
We
you
do
do
show
that.
some of
I try
the
to,
suck,
yeah.
but it also puts it in perspective. Is like we're not showing all the bad times.
Yeah.
We didn't show. We showed us going 5 miles an hour up a hill for how many miles?
You showed the whole thing. It's just
Yeah,
very fast.
Yeah, but in a time lapse. But like, if you watch that shit in real time,
It looked
trust
like
me,
you were moving.
you'd be struggling just like us. Like,
It was like we did this. We were on the road for a week. It was
Showed
supposed.
that in
Yeah, it was like
12
supposed to take
seconds.
3 days.
Yeah,
Like
I
it's
know.
not. So you can't show all of it because also like a lot of like the general like when you're feeling hopeless or something like that, or you're depressed or you're sad, like that's really hard to quantify in a video. It's like, how do I
Yeah.
put this out here without?
Yeah,
just
you don't
seeming
wanna sound like a
weird
whiner.
Whiner, yeah.
or like ungrateful, or
Yeah,
like
because
all
I'm
these
so
things.
grateful. Like I'm gonna.
Yeah.
Like, ultimately, I could be like,
Oh,
dude,
boo-hoo,
I'm
you had to
going to
drive an
go
RV
like.
across the country.
Yeah, no, I'm
So
pretty
you-
fucking dope, you know.
Yeah,
And I
pretty-
did. I saw a lot of good
And
sites.
that's
Like, there was
just like-
a lot of good parts.
Yeah, that
Oh,
is
I
one.
know.
A lot of cool parts.
It's like my least favorite thing is like when someone's like making a video and they're like, "I hate this" the whole time, and I'm like,
Looks fun.
and it makes me feel bad for watching their video, like
Yeah.
of them having to experience it, and they didn't even like at the end of the video be like,
Enjoy it.
"What adversity I faced." They're all just like,
Yeah, that was a bummer.
"That sucked. Bye."
I'm just, yeah, dude. Whoa, sorry.
I'm like, "Oh shit, dude."
You shouldn't do that.
It's
like,
I
don't do that
just, like,
again.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited. I'm gonna try to take more trips this summer for sure.
We are. We're
I'm
gonna take a
excited
shovelhead
about
trip.
Shovelhead.
Yeah, I'll show
summer.
you where to get the DMT and the ayahuasca. Okay.
Oh, we'll just like find a camping spot and just DMT up.
Yeah. Or
See-
just a Walmart parking
see
lot.
the-
Dude, yeah,
Alien.
wherever. I'm pretty sure, like, aren't all drugs legal in Oregon?
Oh, not DMT. Actually, you know they reversed that law, right?
Yeah, it's
So
not the
where
thing
you
anymore.
used to be able to
I
just
didn't hear
like get a slap on.
Cha-la-la-la-la.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't hear it.
In
Just kidding.
that was in Minecraft.
There we
Right.
go.
In Minecraft.
Sorry.
All right. Well, Shovelhead summer coming up, and in the meantime, we have about 3,000 Lucid Blueberry cartridges that we just we just got done packing up.
Yes.
That are hitting
all
the shelves pretty
done
soon.
by your boy Josh over here. Filled.
Well, that's why we
and
came out here.
packed.
Shay was packing them up. I was packing them up. Shay learned how to use the machine. So
She was killing it.
Lucid Blueberry, I will tell you this: it works.
It's
Perfect for road trips because
Great
it is
sativa.
sativa.
Yes. Great
That's a-
sativa.
Great concentrator booster.
Mm-hmm.
You know, do it in the morning, not at night. Unless you're driving at night.
Yeah. When I smoke sativa at night, I'm like, I don't need sleep. I need answers.
Yeah, exactly. Wow, that's a T-shirt right there.
It's a meme. I
Sativa
didn't
at
make that
night.
up.
Oh, damn,
It was a
that
meme
was so
that I
good.
literally just repeated. Most of
Damn
the
you.
dumb shit I say is repeated memes that I saw on Twitter.
Everybody
Almost
gets everything
great.
secondhand.
Yeah, I mean, like, come on. Like, nobody has an original
I
thought.
was blown away for a minute. I was like, damn, that was deep
Well, like,
and true.
it's like half the time I let you gotta let the shit just like let people think that you're like that clever.
I
But
got
then every
you.
once in a while you gotta be like, nah, dude, I didn't think of
I
that.
stole
I
it.
didn't.
Well, I gotta say, it's totally that way. No, everyone thinks they can do it too, because I'm just like, dude, I'm just fucking winging
Yeah,
it.
you know, I feel like, you know, there's so many
Nothing special,
opportunities.
dude.
Trust me, you could be so much funnier if you just stole people's jokes and didn't worry about it.
That's
I'll
true.
make some shit up sometimes. A lot of shit is just like stuff my grandpa said that I thought was funny.
Yeah.
Or like I like made into something else. I don't know. I also think about what I'm going to say. People are like, "How'd you think of that?" I was like, "I thought of it before."
Yeah, it's
and then
like-
I like put it in.
Yeah,
a, in
I
a
heard it.
holster
Yeah.
in my mind.
and waited.
It's like it's
waited.
in my
Yeah.
meme folder
I
in
got
my
like 10
brain.
right now.
and drew that shit when
Yeah,
you needed
I
it.
just wait for the right time and bust that shit out, dude.
Your brain is
That's
a
gift,
muscle
I promise you.
that you can use to store memes in.
Yeah, and so I just do that, but then you also now got to know when to retire them.
Yeah.
So it's like you can't use them forever, dude.
Can't waste
Eventually,
them.
that gun you gotta do the old yeller to it and be like, it's run its course, and usually way before it stops being funny. You can't wait till it gets not funny, and you're like, oh, time to kill it.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah,
gotta
but funny's
kill-
relative.
There's a borderline there, right?
You got to kill it while people still love it. That way,
Yes.
it means something.
Yeah. Like Old Yeller. That's very true.
Oh my God.
That's the
or
whole-
JFK.
Yeah, dude, that's freaking Janis Joplin, Kurt Cobain. You know, die while you still mean something to people. That way, they care about you.
Oh my God.
That's good advice.
Yeah, just apply it to jokes.
Yes,
Please.
jokes.
Yeah, I'm definitely not
Don't
going to
jump
kill
out
myself
a window.
tonight.
Yeah, let's not apply that to people or pets
No.
or anything else. Just jokes.
Unless you're driving with a cat that yells all the way from Tennessee
Yeah.
to California. Then,
I mean, you made it.
Then you're okay. Yeah, he made it.
Cat Dog made it.
He made it.
All right, I love you guys. Look for sessions in a store near you. Ask your local bud tender to get it for you, or new and improved Instagram. Message the Instagram about it.
Ooh, who's the new
Now.
Instagram person? Do we know her? Can we tell?
Anyway, if you ask a personal Shay Lacey question on there, it won't get answered. But if you have a question about sessions, it will.
Yeah, I've got a
good point.
There's other places where you can message me to get personal information.
OnlyFans?
No.
I was joking.
No, I don't.
I love the look on your face.
No, no,
What?
I don't sell nudes. I'm
getting
actually
that.
a philanthropist.
Oh, okay.
Charity's really
It's free.
important. Yeah,
Yeah.
charity's really
Yeah,
important to me.
they're only
They're only free.
they're only
I give
ever
them.
for free, but you got to really know the code.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like
It's
you gotta
complicated.
you gotta really need it.
Yeah.
Like
Really
you don't just
need it,
get
dude.
it.
No.
Yeah.
It's charity.
Yeah.
It's like
Like
writing your paper for the Nobel Peace Prize, you know?
no, it's like signing up for welfare.
All right, with that one, I think we're going to end it.
All
If you
right.
made it to the end, make sure to let us know down in the comments, and make sure you throw a subscribe on this. We're, once again, shooting from the hip on this podcast and kind of winging it.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
we are having a good time, and thanks to everybody who's sticking around and having a good time.
And we
with
do
us.
have some guests coming out
yeah.
soon.
No, we got some people here in Oregon we're going to be interviewing and hanging out with, and it's going to be a really good time. And this one was definitely just like impromptu
Yeah.
at the end of a very long road trip and a very long few days, and a 4th of July weekend and a few other things as well. But thanks for hanging out while
Yeah.
I hung out with my friends and had a good time.
Yeah, exactly. Hope y'all had a great 4th too, because we
Yeah.
did. We had a good time.
Happy birthday, Xbox.
Yeah. Peace.